The anti-vax identity can be very strong. It is tied in with this idea that you are not a sheep, that you're one of those that can see past the lies that you're being told, you're independent, but also that you're a victim constantly. Everyone is coming at you. And I wanna show you an example of how you can be duped if that's the way that you look at the world. So we're gonna show you this picture. This is a shot from the anonymous unvaccinated reporting system, the ORS, I guess, which lets you know that you can earn extra cash by reporting unvaccinated family, friends, or neighbors. FFNs, which I guess is a term, anonymously online. Every name you submit gives you a chance to win $2,500. So you just report on your friends and family and neighbors who are not vaccinated, and you might get a big payout, except that you won't, because that's not real. And I think it's pretty obvious that it's not real, but a number of people who are against vaccinations have taken that spoof site, and we'll get into what kind of spoof it is, and just spread it, saying that it's real, that they're being victimized, that the vaccine supporting Nazis are trying to spy them out and things like that. In reality, the website was designed and built by David Bremont, a realtor and a Republican candidate running for governor in California's recall election, who said it was political satire designed to highlight what he views as unconstitutional vaccine mandates. In practice, it was what is actual fake news. It's something that looks real, that people take as real and spread as real, that is in fact not real. So anyway, I want JR's reaction, then we'll get into some of what's been said about this thing. But JR,
yeah, if you've convinced enough of the constituency or your followers, in this case Republicans, that their belief in the anti-vaxxing and the lack of mask wearing and COVID isn't real, if you've already convinced them and connected that to their identity, which we've done, you can give them anything, because now all they need is something to feed their identity. So you can put anything fake up there. They have no reason to investigate it. They have no reason to question it. As long as it fits their narrative, which then fits their identity, they take a hold of it because it feeds them. Or else they have fewer things to argue with and stand on. So this is an easy realm. The hard part is getting enough people to be convinced that everything is coming after them. You know, those libs and their vaxxers, they're coming to kill you. Once you've convinced them, all you gotta do is say, you see this clown? He was invented by Joe Biden. He's coming to kill you. And oh my God, he's coming to give me the vaccination. It doesn't have to make sense as long as it fits your narrative. It's just, it's injected right in. And the first thing you look at when you see something like this is, who's giving the $2,500? If I think I'm going to report someone down the street and get my $2,500, I want to know where the $2,500 is coming from. So I'd go to maybe the about page of this website, maybe go to who funded it. Is this a government site? Is the government coming to take me over? Because if it's a government site, it won't be called oursonline.com. It'll be a gov site.
Yeah, that's true. Well, they obviously are trying to make it sound like theirs, the other thing that every Republican has become obsessed with, but hasn't learned the most basic information about. Anyway, again, it would seem obvious that this could not be real, but here is how it has been spread. And I guarantee that none of these people are gonna learn that it was a spoof and that it was wrong. And even if they did, they would learn nothing from it. But Michael Weaver on Twitter tweeted, still under the delusion that we are not living in some Orwellian dystopian nightmare. I give you the anonymous unvaccinated reporting system. If you do not push back on outright tyranny like this, it will only continue to grow out of control. So again, with the tyranny thing.
Yep.
Anyway, one Twitter user said, this is real, which isn't true. It's not real, but whatever. This is so hashtag old Soviet bloc. Wait, is that a hashtag? Is that a thing that people use anyway? That it is difficult to believe it exists. Apparently not that difficult. You pushed past it. You managed to believe that it exists. So you got past that difficult thing. This is quite literally the slide into a dystopian hell. Well, no, it's not real, and that's not what literally means. But whatever. Anyway, the thing is, I don't know how many people believed it, but this is exactly the sort of thing designed to be spread. He apparently wanted more people to know about him and all that because he's running, for governor. I get that we're sort of doing that right now. I'm really not worried about him winning, so I'm not too worried about doing that. But this is why fake news exists. It's designed to be spread. It's designed to elicit an emotional reaction, and it clearly has done that for these anti-vax people.
if the guy who's running for governor here and put this site up, whatever he said, he didn't think people, if it was satire. I don't know if he even elaborated to say he didn't think people would take it seriously and they would see it as satire. So let's go through both of those scenarios. Maybe you expected them to take it as satire, right? And then when you find out that people didn't, shouldn't a light go off in your head and be like, why are people believing this to be true? If I write for The Onion and people take it seriously, I'm be like, man, I knew people were dumb enough to believe this because it's so close to a crazy reality in our system. So if you think people now have taken it seriously, what do you have to connect it to the regular part of society or our system that has something similar to this? And if you can't find that, which you can't, then you have to understand that the people that you're duping believe BS like this, and you're a part of it. Like there has to be a self-awakening. Like the people that are supporting me believe craziness that I put up as satire. Shouldn't that make you rethink the way that you're approaching things?
Look, Jer, we're not trained to be able to critically take in news and tell fact from fiction. On an unrelated note, we do have some breaking news. Nation's houseplants confirm pots are their pants. I didn't expect them to ever admit it. This is coming to us via the onion.com.
Oh.
We're gonna be looking for additional details. This has shaped my whole worldview. Shook. Anyway.
Things are changing. It's the vegan agenda, because plants are becoming more powerful now, and now they're declaring that their pants are their pots.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.